LPT request: how to handle disfigurement in job interviews. 33M. Years ago, I received a severe facial scar from glass along cheek. Very noticeable but fully healed. Doesn't affect function in any way. Recently been rejected after 2 interviews that I felt went otherwise well. Should I mention it to employers so their mind is at ease? Or will that make things worse? I suspect this is why I'm not getting through interviews and I need money. Current job isn't customer facing. Can't grow beard because of the location and width of the cuts. Should I say anything about it either on the application or face to face? You know, my opinion is not going to be popular. But I recommend addressing the elephant in the room when it's comfortable to do so. Why? Well, people who are interviewing you are just human and are prone to human emotions and prejudices. Just natural knee-jerk assumptions, etc. If you address it, make it light-hearted and show a level of personality, then you will be amazed at how a non-issue like this becomes. Edit Ask Grammar. Tell them it's leftover from the 90s when you swapped faces with a criminal to try to get the location of a bomb from his terrorist brother. I've also had interviews that I thought went spectacularly well and yet I wasn't chosen. Unless you have an actual reason to believe that your face was a relevant factor, you really don't need to do anything differently. Hey, nice to meet you. Don't mind the cheek. I got glassed in an accident when I was younger. Smiling as wide as you can. Owning this shit will put anyone at ease. I think you'll find that often enough people will engage back with empathy. Problem solved. Good luck. My next interview is on Wednesday and it's for selling noise-reducing doors and windows to private customers. And I can already tell I'm not going to get it because who wants a salesman that looks like he fell through a window? It's just fucking ironic. Now that's in my head, I just want to cancel it, but a joke could be possible. Addressing the elephant in the room is gonna be the only way, isn't it? My fiancée has a 7-inch scar down her face. She was attacked by a girl with a knife. She was very down and depressed for a few years and it still bothers her every day. She has had a newish job for almost a year now. She doesn't mention it to anyone and they just see her for her. You don't have to say anything about it during an interview. Or really to anyone. Job hunting is really hard right now. And if you think your scar is a factor for rejection, then you don't want to be working for a place like that to begin with. Best of luck to you, brother. My DMs are open if you are looking to vent. Everything I thought of has already been covered by others. I am curious though, are there plastic surgery treatments or the like for it? If you wanted that? I ask because I have a surgical scar that was quite noticeable. And my acupuncturist asked me if I wanted it to heal faster and be less red angry looking. I'm fair skinned. It worked so well. And I'd never have thought to ask. Wear makeup if you want to hide it. Otherwise you can address it early in the interview. Just wanted to mention my scar. A lot of people wonder about it. I got it because 4x. Or you can just ignore it. People get rejected for jobs they're qualified for all the time. You probably wouldn't have gotten the job, scar or not. I 37F have a very noticeable facial scar that I have had since I was 22. It used to really bother me and I would talk about it. But as the years went by I cared less and less and realized that no one cared or wanted to talk about it. Mentioning something like that just makes you look insecure. This is especially true in a formal setting like a job interview. Over the last 15 years I have had a handful of job interviews and never mentioned or been asked about. It has also never hindered my ability to get jobs. Couples things. 1. Most likely it's not the scar why you didn't get the job. Lots of times people feel interviews went well, or even crushed it and still do not get it. Keep pushing. 2. I've done an interview and the interviewee gave a heads up and was awesome. They had an intense crooked eye. 3. My curiosity is getting the best of me in wanting to see this gnarly scar. I would bring it up for in-person interviews. Yeah, about the scar, I wish I could say I got it defeating a tiger and rescuing the Queen of Moldova. But I'm not that cool. Slight laughter, just a run-of-the-mill insert watered-down actual incident. Here, humans will be humans, professional or not, unfortunately. It's no one's business. I don't think you have to tell anyone about your scar ever if you don't want to. If you feel like that is the reason you're not making it past the interview, then it would make sense to start acknowledging it. Depending on their questions, it could work in your favor. It could be a good example of having the strength and perseverance to get through a difficult situation. It could also make you seem more approachable and relatable. I have a facial burn op, and it's never held me back. In fact, most people say they've stopped noticing it. If you act like it's no big deal, allies will agree. During an interview, I've usually explained my history, and the burn is part of that. My opinion is that most people want to support and encourage folks like you and me, especially when we're making faith effort to overcome our injuries and their scars. Good luck. As someone who used to work in HR, any appearance will not prevent a person from getting the job 90% of the time if they are by far the best candidate. You may lose out if a more attractive candidate with similar skills, performance, etc. is in the competition, but not if you far exceed them. So focus on being the best. You will not win the interviews unless you're the best. Off topic. But I started reading the description as 33 million years ago. I was like, is this guy a time traveler? Say it's from Mansour fencing from your time at boarding school in Germany. Start the interview talking like a pirate. Stop. Say just kidding while pointing at the scar and carry on normally. For sure you have to read the room. But I'm thinking that an employer that makes you feel comfortable talking about it is probably a very good sign. I'm an employer myself and I legally can't ask medical questions. So it can be tricky sometimes. Tell them that you trained brown bears to fight with people in Russia. You were attacked by ninjas in white pajamas. Because you're the chosen one. The Joker tried to turn your kid into Batman, but failed. Maybe something like what you see is from a childhood injury and leave it at that. Anyone who asks for more might be a place you don't want to work anyway. I guess I don't see how having a facial scar would affect your job performance and therefore seems not relevant beyond a tell me something about yourself type of question. If someone won't hire you because of a scar on your face, then that's probably someone who is shallow and not worth working for anyhow. Imho, you don't want to work for anyone who won't hire you because of your scar. Think of it as a way to weed out superficial employers. Add in a new last job with no details other than Jaguar Wrangler 1 week. Just dive head first into organized crime. You need to give examples of your skills. Focus on highlighting examples of your skills. If you had a lot of interview practice, your appearance will not prevent you from getting the job. Go to at least 5 mock interviews. Make up a funny story about how it happened. I saved orphan bears from an industrial fire that happened on the corner of Jameson and Whiskey Street. Get a cosmetic counter to give you high coverage foundation or concealer color matched so it matches your skin. Dab it along the scar to hide it for your interview. Focus on doing well in your interview. I think it's good to address it as an interviewer. I'd try to ignore it, but I would wonder. Might as well just explain it quickly in a lighthearted way when you first meet the interviewer. It could have nothing to do with your rejections. But who knows what people think?